Welcome to another random podcast by the Department of Understanding Humans. This could be considered your cautionary warning to proceed with caution, cautiously. We talk about random things. We have a conversation about what's going on, and occasionally we curse. We do also insult everybody equally. So enjoy.
Buckle up, kid. Shit's gonna get weird.
Of course, I can't hear anything. Of course, I can't hear anything. Input. I don't know. I want input. Yeah, this is, yep. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nope. How about now?
Hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Now I can hear you. So
Yay.
I got a new headset because the puppy ate
Oh.
my headset.
Did you get a Logitech headset?
No, I got another raisin. Got another raisin.
I mean,
Kraken.
a Razer Kraken? A Kraken?
Kraken?
Because, Logitechs, they not only control games, they can control inferior subs.
Listen.
Weep.
Too soon.
Too soon? It's not too... Look, I am sorry, and I'm sorry for the people that needlessly died on that submarine. But that guy, he played the game of F around and find out.
Yeah, he did.
He really did. And everybody and their brother looked at him and said, I have concerns. You're attacking me with your concerns. And I was just watching the program update on it from 60 Minutes.
Oh, God.
And, when James Cameron looks at you and goes, this is a bad idea, I wouldn't get in that thing. The movie guy.
Yeah.
Okay?
The movie. So, okay, did you... I'm just going to have a conversation.
Gain your thoughts.
Yeah, I know.
Gain your thoughts.
I've had a morning. I'm sorry.
I understand. No. Don't apologize. We all have those mornings.
So, regarding the sub, okay, first of all, while the bolts that held the doors shut were titanium, the rest of the sub was carbon fiber.
Right. And carbon fiber, while it is very durable,
it's not meant to be under the weight of the ocean.
Right. It's not meant to freeze, expand, heat, contract, right. And also have the pressure of the Empire, or the weight of the Empire State Building pressing upon you.
Right. And so, I learned a lot of really interesting facts about the Titanic itself just looking into this whole situation.
Right. Same here.
Why there's no bodies.
Oh. They implode.
Well, they implode, but it's also because of where the Titanic went down. It's however many miles below the surface of the water, right?
Right.
So it's apparently really difficult for submarines to get to it because it's in such a deep part of the ocean because of the pressure of the water. Then there's the temperature, and then there's whatever's in the water. So they were talking about initially the people, the bodies that they found from the initial accident, icebergness.
Mm-hmm.
They, were floating on the top of the water. They scooped them up, Bob's your
and they were frozen.
And they were frozen. The ones that went down with the ship, there are some that are possibly still within the engine room currently, but because it's been 70 years or something like that, decomp is a thing in nature, but then you add the pressure of the ocean and the animals down there, and then there's a bacteria in the water that also eats on the bone and the flesh. They're saying that at some point the entire wreckage is just going to be sand.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of that's just going to get crushed and emulsified in the ocean because of the way the ocean works with the salt and everything like that. So it's
The
really,
corrosion,
yeah, the
the age of
corrosion.
time.
It's really fascinating. And so what they're saying is this group of people, these five people, I'm gonna be serious for a minute, and then I'm gonna say my asshole remark because I've got an asshole remark. You know, I've got an asshole remark.
Okay, we're on this ride together because I
I
got some
know.
asshole remarks too. So let's go.
So apparently,
Buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go.
here we go. Apparently, it imploded, and they only had like a second of like notification, like idea that anything was going to be wrong. They would
Which
hear,
is thankful.
which is thankful. So they would hear like a creak, a sound of the hull
Right.
breaching, and then it's done, and then it's over, and it implodes at such a velocity. They were saying something like 1,500 miles an hour. That it would just tear them to shreds, and they wouldn't know what happened. It would just be a blink of an eye. They're just gone, which is
Which
good.
That's a godsend for those people
Yeah,
rather than dying, suffocating to death, and freezing.
right. And so there was this whole like, and there's people on social media calling it a psyop. Oh my God, they're gaslighting you. They're manipulating.
Right. Oh
No,
God.
no, I don't think
No.
that there was any kind of malicious intent to hide what was going on. I think they just didn't know, and
It was.
it took a
Go
minute
ahead.
to figure it out. Side note: the son, the young teenage son that went reluctantly, he didn't want to go, but he
Mm-hmm.
went because it was Father's Day and his dad was going. So he didn't want to be there. So poor thing. The CEO of the company. Here's my asshole remark.
Go for it.
How's this for DEI, motherfuckers?
Oh, Jesus. You know, well, let's see. Do
I
I
don't want to
take the
hire a skilled 50-year-old white guy. I want a young dude that's got great ideas and has no idea what the pressure of the ocean does to carbon fiber.
maybe you hire both the experience and the person with the great ideas?
I,
Because perhaps the youth can maybe show something to the person with the expertise who's done it several times. Maybe this would work.
yeah,
And the old
maybe.
person who knows what the hell he's doing and goes on and who's done this, I don't know, countless times can go, yeah, no, this won't work. We can't do this. Let me show you why.
Yeah.
On a side note, Paul McCartney has a new song about it.
Oh God.
We all went in an inferior submarine, an inferior submarine, an inferior submarine.
I
We
just
went
love.
down in a death trap
Oh
because an
God.
idiot didn't listen, and then the news is mad at us. Oh why, we didn't listen.
So, the news media had a field day with it, obviously,
Oh, absolutely.
which I think is really
It's a tragedy.
funny because, well, it is a tragedy, but I love that they're all sitting there like Monday morning quarterbacks going, well, this happened and that happened and this happened and well, we think this happened and blah, 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 blah. And it's like your news cycle is so lame that you have to focus on this. They made bad decisions. They fucked around and found out. Period. Foyo or
Here's
fofo or whatever the hell that is. Fuck around, find out. Fofo. Fafo.
here's basically what happened. You had a guy who said, "I'm going to build it because I can and I got money."
Yep.
Okay. Well, you should hire some experts. No. And every expert looked at him and went, I ain't getting in that thing. You are crazy. This thing is a death trap. It's
Yeah.
it's a 5-person coffin. How are you controlling with this thing? Excuse me, a game controller you can buy at Walmart.
Okay, that blew my mind.
Absolutely floored me when they said it was controlled by a video game controller from Logitech. Logitech is sitting there going, "Oh God, please don't mention our names in this. We just sold it to him. We didn't know what he was doing. He said he was going to pilot a sub. We thought Sub Commander on Steam, on his Xbox. That's all. We didn't realize he was going to put it in a cylinder and go try to find the Titanic."
No, that's ridiculous. I mean, okay, so I laughed my head off at the beginning of the Benny Johnson video where he's like, they're playing with the remote control and then suddenly the batteries go and it's like everything goes black. And I'm
Oh,
like, oh God, okay, that's funny as hell. But, okay, not for nothing. Like, the Hubs has a gaming control for flight simulation that's a lot like the shift stick or whatever they're called for an
right.
airplane. But I don't know that do, don't those things have different technology?
Yes, they have different,
Proprietary technology that's really important to the inner workings of the brain of the thing that it's steering?
and there has been emergency situations where somebody who has done Flight Simulator, the game with the actual pilot controls, has been able to land a plane in an emergency. Now, they had help from the tower
Right.
guiding them in and telling them, okay, step by step, but they had the base knowledge. Piloting a submarine is a hell of a lot different than sitting with your PlayStation 5 controller and going clickety click 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 click. Oh, look at what I got the sub. It's completely different.
Apparently they knew something was wrong because they blew their ballast, hoping that they would float to the top.
Wow.
Yeah. But then they imploded before they could actually.
Okay, I'm gonna be serious here for a second. Thank God that they went swift.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, honestly, okay, so I've had like intrusive thoughts.
Well, yeah.
And you hear about things, especially as a 911 dispatcher, you hear about things that people do to remove themselves from society.
Exactly.
And you wonder, will that hurt? Will I feel this? How quickly will this be over? You know, there are people that botch that attempt and they end up suffering and becoming a vegetable or whatever. But if I was going to do it, I'd want to go quick, or if I was either going to off myself or I was going to be offed, I would want it to be fast, and I hope that with the amount of carbon fiber that shredded around them, that they didn't feel a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it was just so fast. It was just like blip, and they were
The
gone.
most eerie thing about this whole story is when the Navy was searching for them, they picked up the sound of the sub imploding and went, "Ooh, what was that?"
Really?
Yeah, they and then they went back and determined that's the point the sub went because it made a sound and they went, "Okay, we got to check that sound." And it lined up with everything that was normal with something imploding.
Oh my god.
And no, people, let's get off the whole. Oh, this is a psyop. They explode. No, no one exploded that sub. You know what happened to it? It was a guy's hubris was the cause of all this.
Yeah.
That's bottom line. And I know that's cruel. I know it's mean, but that's facts and reality.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think I think that
facts and reality are
it
cruel sometimes.
they're calling it a psyop because they knew that, and this is what social media is saying. I'm not saying that this is
Oh
fact.
yeah,
Social media is saying it was a psyop because the parties that were setting up for the search and everything already knew that the sub was already gone. You know what I mean? But I think that that's a mischaracterization because even if there was a suspicion that the sub was already gone, they had to prove it. They had to go in. They had to go down anyway. They had to go look. They had to go listen. They had to go look because what if they weren't? What if they were weirdly cased in this little tube down on the bottom of the ocean floor, freezing their asses off? What if?
ugh,
I don't know. I hate it. I hate it for them.
I hate it.
And
It's a
then,
terrible story.
and I don't know if this is truth or not, and I don't know the timeline. I don't know how to find this because I don't really trust a whole lot on the internet. Um, the new CEO is a Rothschild.
I have no idea about that.
I'll have to find the post, but there was something on, I think Twitter. But it was I don't know the timeline. I'll have to find it. But I don't think it's that important. But other than the fact that the Rothschilds are those people that have a lot of money that are like Soros's, and they do.
One of the wealthiest families in
Yeah.
America who've been kind of running things for the
Yeah,
longest time.
in a bad way, not in a good way, but in a bad way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know, they're part of the pandemic. The
Pentaveret.
Rothschilds, the
The Rothschilds
Yankees, the Colonel.
with his
Oh, that
wee beady
wee
eyes.
beady eyes making me crave his chicken every fortnight.
God. Oh my gosh. Pentaveret. Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since we've done a podcast.
Yeah, it is. It has been a
We've
way hot minute.
we've had a couple of real life things going on. I myself, I'm now raising two toddlers. They are 78 and 77 respectfully. You don't know when you have to take care of the parents. You just don't realize it. You go, oh yeah, I can do it. If one went down, it would be okay. We could manage. Both of them going down at the same time. Oh no. Oh nay nay. I say. Oh nay nay. Oh dear God. I've never been run so ragged in my entire life than with those two. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love my parents. Absolutely love them. But holy shit. Let me kind of paint this picture of what's going on for the last, let's see. Yeah, 3 months. Going on 3 now. So they go to a cruise. And they go to Bora Bora. Or they go take a vacation. Bora Bora. Wonderful time. Look, they deserve it. They've worked all their lives. Go have fun. Dad comes home. Mom calls and says, hey, can you meet it? We got to the airport fine. We didn't need a ride, but can you meet us at the house? Dad's back is really, really bothering him bad.
Oh.
And I said, okay. I said, how bad? She goes, it's fairly bad. We're going to go see the doc as soon as we come home. They flew in that morning. I said, okay, that's pretty serious if you've made a doctor's appointment right when you get home and you're exhausted. So I met him at the house, carried the bags in, carried the bags up, and then watched my father kind of waddle.
Oh,
Not waddle, but like clutch things and unable to move. I went, oh, this is not good. Come to find out, he had a two-pronged thing. He had a sciatica that just got aggravated and aggravated and aggravated on that trip. And he fractured his tailbone. Slight fracture. So both combined, sitting was painful, standing everything was painful. So, okay, went to the doc, he figured it out. Now he's getting therapy, doing sciatica, everything's fine. Okay, we've gotten past that. Dad is, kind of hobbling around. He's getting better. Everything's getting better. Balance isn't great, but okay, he's getting better. Hey, I got to have, cataract surgery here soon. Can you? Yeah, sure. We'll go to that. And that's the next story coming up. One eye is getting cloudy. The other eye is getting cloudy. So we did one eye and then did the other. Okay. So, all right. Segue into this other part of the toddlers.
The toddlers. They
decide to go out to dinner. Okay. We really can't move around. That's great. But all right. You went out to dinner. You felt confident enough. So I get a call probably about 2 weeks later or so. It's 9:30 on a Friday night. Hey, yeah, what's the matter, Dad? Well, look, we had a little problem. Your mom and I fell in the parking lot at the restaurant. She tripped and then went to try to have me brace her, and I went down along with her. We're headed to the emergency room. Can you meet us there? If you trip and fall and say, we're headed to the emergency room, that's not good. And I said, how serious is this? He goes, I don't think it's that serious. I said, no, you're going to the emergency room. This is pretty serious. I'm on the way. Stop what I'm doing in the car. Go down to the emergency room. So there's my mother in a hospital bed, arm and elbow flayed open pretty much. Knee the same way. He's got a good ding on his knee and his elbow. He's fine though. I mean, he took a fall and was all right. She, on the other hand, who has no meat on her bones and 88 pounds soaking wet, phone books in her back, just is, looks like somebody threw her against a plate glass window and scars and cracks and all over the stuff. So there she is. Oh, I said, Mom, you okay? I am fine. I fell and look at, and she starts going like this on her elbow. I said, Mom, what are you doing? Now she is blowing, like huff and I puff and I'll blow the house down blowing. Mom, what are you doing? I'm trying to get it to scab over.
Oh, so she's like cut up and bleeding and...
Yeah, she's cut up and bleeding.
Dear
so
God.
She's blowing on it. She's blowing on this elbow that's flayed open and trying to get it to stop bleeding by going...
So just as a side note to our listeners, when you hit your 60s and 70s and 80s, your skin gets thinner.
Thinner. Much thinner.
That's why a lovely woman in this time frame of her life would look like she went through the windshield of a car.
Right, exactly.
By falling on a curb.
So the two of them are now arguing back and forth like angry children. Because she's mad, what's this going to do for our trip coming up? Da, da, da. Dad's like, please just let the doctor look at you. Shut up. They're just going on. So I'm like, okay, calm down, the two of you. So she starts on me. I finally had enough, and I said, look, if you don't shut up and let the doctor handle you, I'm going to throw you in the home that I saw in 60 Minutes where they're crooked, and you're making purses and wallets for the streets of New York, okay? That's your arts and craft time.
Stop it.
I'm serious about it. Because we're an hour into this, and even the doc who's sewing her up is like trying so hard not to laugh.
Oh my goodness.
So, okay, get them home, get them doing blah, blah, blah. All right? Now, my mother has had both hips redone, has 2 hip implants. Has stem cells in one knee that she's doing, and she's going to get stem cells in her other knee that she had replaced.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of metal in my mother.
Good God.
Okay?
Does she set off?
Yeah, she will. She opts for the pat down. Or she's gotten global entry now. They've gotten all this stuff where they're like, okay, this is who we are, this is what we do. Okay, hand it to the person, go through. Anyway, so a couple of days later, I'm over at the house. She's not moving well. She's like clutching to things, trying to move. I said,
goodness.
You're not moving well. How did you land? Well, I landed on this left side and on my hip. I went, okay.
Oh, no.
Dad's like, okay, call the doc. Called the doc and said, all right, well, just rest. Rest and don't do. Okay? That meant let's go drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That meant let's go drive. Let's vacuum a 3-floor house, 3-level house.
That's resting.
Let's clean. That's resting. Let's do some gardening. Let's do some. Yeah, that's resting, So then I come for Father's Day, and we've taken them back and forth for cataracts. Dad's doing fine. Okay. Vision's great. Back is getting better because he listens to the doctor.
Right.
Let me point this out. When you listen to the person that has MD beside their name, good things will happen. If you go and be bullheaded and go, I'm not going to listen to the doctor, this story about my mother will happen to you. Correct. Now, back to our story.
As a side note, just as a quick...
Go ahead.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, right.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
But obviously use your judgment. Ask questions.
Ask questions, and if you want a second opinion, get a second opinion.
Right, but for the most part, there's a reason you trust your doctors.
Exactly. So moving on. So Father's Day, she can barely walk. She is clutching and shaking, and Dad finally just goes, okay, that's it. That's enough. We're going tomorrow. I'm making an appointment with Dr. Dugas. We're going to see him. That's it. Don't argue with me anymore. I can't watch you do this. He says, I now cannot see too well. I'm healing up in my eye. We're not able to go places. We can't rely on him for everything to help us both out going to the doc. So the doc then looks at her and says, well, you didn't rest, did you? No, I rested. And Dad was like, no, she didn't. She didn't, and listed off all the stuff. And he goes, okay, well, we'll solve this real easily. You're on a walker for 3 weeks. Because what you've done is by falling and not resting, those new muscles that have wrapped themselves around that implant now went, we give up, and detached from your implant. That's why you're so sore and you're moving. Nothing, thankfully, knock wood, nothing was wrong with the implant.
Okay, good.
Okay? I mean, look, when they screw in it, let me kind of play this out for people that worry that they could dislodge an implant. There's so much hardware and screw and everything else that's in there, it's hard to dislodge one of those things. I mean, you're almost, bionic man, stronger than before. But everything else around it is new. When you start healing up and you're moving, those muscles and sinews and tissues are all new around it. If you have something like that happens,
it just sounds
those
so
things
painful. I'm sorry, the whole thing just
right.
sounds. Ugh.
It is painful. It's like a baby getting slapped or a kid getting slapped and goes, that makes a big deal out of it. So the muscles have detached. She's on a walker. She hates it. She can't drive, but now you hear tunk, tunk, tunk when she moves around.
No.
Meanwhile,
no, really?
Yeah, the sliding of the tennis balls on the hardwood floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of.
You were thinking of whip noise. No. I was
thinking the metallic sound of her hip clinking.
No. Her hip's not clicking. Thank God.
Like freaking Iron Man walking down the hall, like.
Yeah. No, we're not hearing that.
Your mom is Iron Man.
But let me tell you, I'm exhausted. I am thoroughly exhausted from
all of it.
Yeah, from all of it, from everything. I'm tired.
It's been a. I mean, I think our last podcast was almost 6 months or a year ago.
Yeah, it's almost a year ago.
Like we are way out, but I mean, so much has been going on. Like I got a new job.
Right.
We rescued 2 dogs.
Right.
One of which was an actual rescue. The sister-in-law had found a little girl husky running around her house for like a month and was like, nobody's coming to get this dog. Does anybody want, can somebody help? So she calls her brother, who then says, hang on, let me check with my wife. And I go, it's August. This dog is, yes, go get her. Frack, just go get her. So we get her. We deal with months of feral behavior and food aggression and getting her integrated in the pack. And now she's just, part of it and everything's good. And we're still having periodic jealousy moments because she's a baby and she's trying to figure out her place. At this point, she's about 2, maybe 3, right? And then on Saturday, I'm getting a poster to kind of put in my house that says, I will not rescue dogs anymore. ... after this ... I'm driving down. I went to go to the dump, but to take boxes, and it was closed for some reason. I was like, what the heck? Why is it closed? I guess it was because it was on a Saturday, but I guess it was Father's Day weekend, so they closed it. I guess. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't.
Or they just don't have the staff.
Maybe. And so I go, okay, well, I'll go to the gun range. I'll go, I'm carrying. I'll go use this time to freshen up my muscle memory with my gun and maybe look at another concealed carry weapon that I could feel is, my Ruger has kind of a sports grip. So I wanted something
Mm-hmm.
that's got more of a safety, it's more safe to conceal carry around like an autistic young man who doesn't know anything about guns. And so, you know, because I'm a responsible gun owner, Second Amendment people. Okay, carrying on. So I'm driving up the road and I see a German Shepherd in the middle of the road, like just lollygagging around. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get hit. So I honk my horn. He moves over to the side of the road, but then he kind of goes back into traffic, and I'm like, no, this isn't happening, because I couldn't in good conscience drive off, knowing that
Right.
this dog could potentially get hit. And I was able to pull over, and he came to me. He's really sweet. He's super sweet. So I get him in the truck, and I take him to the vet, and I get him scanned to see if there's a chip, which there was, thank goodness. Chip your dogs, ladies and gentlemen. Chip
There
your
you go.
dogs. Even if you have a collar or a harness on them that identifies them, chip your dog. So it took forever to get a hold of the owner. Finally get a hold of them, bring the dog back. He's a good boy. He is sweet as can be. We had coffee. He ate a donut. We had a conversation. We hung out. Drop him off. And 2 days later, the mom texts me and says, "Hey, would you like to come take our dog?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And it's because he's 9 months old. They've
Uh-huh.
got him in an outdoor pen that he keeps jumping out of because they've left him out there with older dogs and a Rottweiler and Chihuahua and chickens and ducks and a little bitty farm of some kind. But they leave him out there and they don't work with him. So he's a 9-month-old German Shepherd. He's bored. He wants to go
Right.
explore. So it's like, I'm gonna jump this electrified fence
Right.
and I'm gonna go check out traffic
I'm gonna check out life.
because this looks exciting. You guys are boring. And
He's
so,
busy singing the Quasimodo song out there. I'll have spent one day out there.
yeah, I want to be where the people are.
Uh,
I want to run and chew and piss on things. I want to know what it's like to, what's the word? Eat.
he's he's playing a real life version of Frogger,
Yeah. Wow,
darting
wow,
in
wow.
traffic.
And so I'm like, Hubs and I talk, and we're like, dude, at the very least, if we take him, even if it's to foster him until we find him a home, it gets him in a safe environment where we can work with him so that he's not he's not running to his death. Because if I said no, I would knowingly say no to something that I know would end in this dog being hit by a truck and dying. And I couldn't do it. So we took him. Found out that he was 9 months old. He is neutered. We changed his name to Bosco, which sounds like his original name ish. And he responds really well to it. He is a good boy.
I love that name. You know why?
Why?
That's the name of the dog from One Crazy Summer with John Cusack.
Is it?
The dog that had the collar, the cone of shame around his neck, name was Bosco.
Was it really? I didn't
Yep,
know that. That's
that's
hilarious.
great.
So, because his name was originally Oso,
Oh, so Bosco, yeah, same name.
but because we don't think he looks like a bear because they were Spanish, and so, you know, we don't we renamed him anyway. He any answers to it, he comes to it. He's really good. We're working with him on understanding things. We're crate training him so that he's. But I'll tell you what. Okay, so it was an adjust. You know that I never had huskies before, and I adjusted to having a husky. And then I adjusted to having two huskies. Then I adjusted to three huskies. That's a lot of
Three huskies and a hound. Three huskies and a hound
and a Maggie.
and a Maggie. Three huskies, a hound, a Maggie, and a German Shepherd named Bosco.
Well, yeah. So, no, three huskies and a Maggie.
3 Huskies and a Maggie. So now, but you now have
and
three
and
Huskies, a Maggie, and Bosco.
and Bosco. And the reason why Maggie doesn't fall into a category is because she's a mutt. She's a blab. She's a beagle lab mix.
But Maggie is the sweetest dog ever.
She's a mess. So
Maggie.
I have to tell you, this was a moment like almost traumatic for me, because Maggie barks and she gets a little wound up and she'll right, and she's got that beagle lab bark that just won't quit, and she sounds angry when she barks. The first time I heard Bosco bark, I think I crapped myself.
Oh yeah, it's a different look. German Shepherd bark is a different bark. That is
it's scary as hell.
That is like the Terminator is coming, you know.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, what was that? And
Mom,
oh my
Mom,
God, yeah. And
instead
then,
of the husky,
yeah,
you know,
yes,
terrifying howl in the night.
Yeah, no, this was like, I don't want to hear this in the dark, like, you know. And he gets out in that backyard, and the backyard is a fenced-in half-acre. And he finally he was kind of trotting a little bit, trying to figure out where he could go to the bathroom and what he was allowed to do, et cetera, et cetera. And he's got that, you know, that German Shepherd bounce, you know.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that's cool. And he's got this long tail that's like a snake coming off of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see him run, and I'm like,
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Holy
I'm fast
shit.
as fuck. You ain't catching me.
He runs towards me, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. He's like, hi, Mom.
German they're dogs.
But he's just this big baby.
Yep, they are.
He
They're
has
all
no idea. He punched me in the face yesterday.
Yep.
Because he has these big old hobclobber claws, ball paws, right?
The slap of doom.
It really is. And
that's what I call
deceptively lean. Like when he came to me the first time at the truck on the side of the road, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get you in the truck, and I'm talking to him like he understands me. I'm gonna get you in the truck, and we're gonna go to the vet, and we're gonna see if you have a chip, because you belong to one of these houses right here. I know you do. But when I went to pick him up, I thought, okay, he'll be kind of like maybe picking up Boomer, you know, who's no. Dude is solid as he is lean. He is like maybe 18 inches wide. But he comes up to almost my hip. He's taller than Apollo and Boomer. And he's skinnier than Apollo and Boomer. And I could see his ribs. He was healthy. He wasn't sick. You know, he was lean. But he is all like muscle. And like, he'll walk past me in the hallway and shove me to the side of the room. Like,
move, human.
Because he doesn't understand his size, number one.
No.
Number two, he's a walking, like, plow. No wonder why law enforcement loves German Shepherds and why they were bred for guarding and herding and things like that. This dude is like a brick wall.
That's why they are guard dogs. That's why they are police dogs. They are just strong animals.
They really are. And he is just doofy as hell because he's a puppy. He's 9 months old.
Yeah, he's still puppy.
And so we realized that because he was kind of left, you know, in an outside pen with grown-up dogs, he hasn't had a chance to really be a puppy.
Mm-mm.
And so he finds the toys, and he starts hoarding the toys like a dragon, and lays on them and chews on them, and he's just having a grand old time. And he sits there with the husband and starts playing and mouthing, like he's mouthing his hand.
Bobbing, yep.
And I mean, you've seen Dan's hands; they're large.
Yeah,
right.
Dan has hammer hands, is what I like to call those.
I lovingly call him meat paws. Right.
That's a good term, meat paws.
He's got meat paws.
But no, to give our listeners at home, Dan is a large fella, size wise, stature wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a small individual.
Right.
He has fists that look like rubber mallets, is how I can describe it. I mean, when he closes his fist, that's exactly what it looks like. Is an honest to God rubber mallet, big black rubber mallet hand.
Like if you go to
Anyway,
Walmart and you get those Hulk foam
yep,
fists,
that's your
that's
husband's hand.
my husband's hands. It disappears in the maw of this German Shepherd. And they're just playing their mouth in their soft mouthing, and he's just having a grand
Yeah.
time. Just his teeth are like shark teeth. They're
Oh yeah.
big, they're beautiful, they're healthy, they're white, but against the black of his mouth, when he opened his mouth, I was like, "Holy crap!" And he's gentle as hell. He's this huge, gentle giant, but I mean, I've never been around a German Shepherd for an extended period of time other than just kind of walking past somebody who has one and going, "Oh, nice
Mm-hmm.
dog." Like I've never actually interacted with one, and I'm just like, I got to change my underwear. I got to wear the brown pants. What the hell? Like, and he finally figured out how to get up on the bed. And so
Good for him.
he laid on me. Like we had him in the crate, and then we take him out of the crate, and he can come lay on us, to hang out with the dogs in the morning after their first outside moment. He lays on me, and he's like a weighted blanket. He's like a 50-pound weighted blanket.
And he's like, "Mama."
Yeah, and he is the biggest baby. Just
Yep.
mom, and the nuzzle, and the lick, and then I come first. I come
That
first.
that love the animal has not had with the other owners,
Right.
apparently.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's a good boy. So we're probably gonna end up keeping him. Which I mean, I we're gonna need a bigger house. We're just gonna need a bigger house. We're gonna have to change our furniture. It's just the couch, the way it's working right now, is not conducive to having 5 dogs running around.
Oh God, no.
The Huskies will play tag with him in a circular motion around the couch and living room furniture, and they're parkouring on everything.
Oh yeah, the zoomies, the
The
zoomie
zoomies, yeah.
parkours.
So they'll run up and down the hallway. I was Thursday years old when I realized that a 9-month-old German Shepherd can jump up on my dining room table.
See, and then I'm coming towards you here in a while, and you say, "Oh yeah, bring your husky."
Okay,
So
but
let's add Wondermutt to this
no.
mix.
So when I said bring Farkas, that was under the assumption that that would be 5
Right,
dogs. That
that would be 5 dogs.
and our dogs are by some bloodline related to your dog.
They
So
are.
so it's a family reunion, and it should have been fine. However,
However, now that you've added, mini police dog, I
perhaps
think Marcus will
perhaps
stay
yeah,
home.
I think perhaps he needs a vacation with the
He
Porters.
needs he needs to go visit his girlfriends, and they will love on him, and they will take care of him. Because God, it's like, okay, oh, are you boarding him? Oh, well, that's fine. We have room for him.
I love
They will
Farkas.
shove people out of the room for Wondermutt. Okay, they
Like
will shove other dogs aside
your
because
Wonder
the,
Mutt.
the
Oh my god, I love that dog so much.
Wondermutt. I'm telling
When
you,
I
Wondermutt,
come
the social media superstar.
when I came to hang out after New Year's Eve or New Year's, and I sat there with him on the couch. He was so
He
damn
loved it.
smart. He was so smart, and I put my hand in his maw, and he's just like, "Ooh, she's a keeper. I like
He's
her."
like, oh, new hand. Ah.
Ah, new hand I get to chew on. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Oh my god. Let's see what else is going on other than having a menagerie of fur. We got a new truck.
Hooray for new vehicle.
Hooray for new vehicle. It was kind of a lateral move because there was some age showing on the truck that wasn't covered by the warranty, even though we did get calls for an extended warranty on a regular basis. It was not. They couldn't figure out why it was doing certain things, and it was rather than
Mm-hmm.
spending about $2,000 or $3,000 fixing it ourselves, we actually found a newish truck. It was a used truck that was a more recent model that had similar mileage, that if we traded in the old truck and got the new truck, it was a wash. Like there was no change financially, which is really good considering the economy right now and interest rates and things like that. We've talked. Our neighbors are getting ready to put their house up for sale. So if you want to move down here, you're welcome to. We have a couple neighbors who are putting their houses up for sale because the neighborhood has changed. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I would love to go buy a new house with the new law in place of the new policy in place of people with bad credit getting preferential treatment, and us with good credit paying for those
Yeah, no.
fees on, and now keep in mind that's on new mortgages. It's not on it's not on a current mortgage, right? So
Right.
if we sold the house and got a house, it would be a new mortgage where we would get that inflated cost. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done paying for other people to not do anything.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I'm
I
sorry.
I would love to figure out how to not pay taxes, and I don't know how to do that. But like, the government came out the other day going, "Yeah, we accidentally gave Ukraine another $6.2 billion that we kind of forgot about." Like, it was kind of an
Yeah, I
oops.
just conveniently forgot about.
It was an accounting error, and I'm like, "What? Wait, what?
That's not an
What?"
accounting error.
We actually kind of didn't add that to the laundry list of things.
Yeah, at least the price of eggs are starting to go down a little bit.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to go. Okay, which finger do you want to take for
Right? I have
my
to chop
carton of
off
eggs?
my big toe to be able to buy beef
But
this week.
still, our prices in the grocery store are ridiculous.
They really are, and gas is still really ridiculous as well.
Yeah, gas is still a little high, and of course summer is here, so ooh, ooh, it's time to jack up those prices. Yeah.
So we got another deep freezer. And this is how we're going to kind of help deal with this. With my new job, I'm only getting paid once a month, not
Oh,
biweekly, which is interesting. I get paid at the end of every month, which so does he. His
right.
job also pays him at the end of the month. So it's just a matter of now just kind of figuring out where to put paying the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a second deep freezer, and we're gonna start over purchasing meat. But one of the
Yeah.
things he's gonna do is he's gonna talk to a group of people that they're gonna go in on a cow. Like they're gonna actually all chip in on a cow, and we're gonna
Let
take.
me know.
Oh yeah, you want in?
Yeah.
The other thing I want to do is there is a U.S. based local farmer type thing called Good Ranchers.
Yeah, we have good ranchers here.
Yeah, and they'll ship you boxes of American
Yep.
beef that doesn't have anything in it, and it's grass fed and it's healthy and it's not no GMOs or antibiotics. It's not being shipped over from overseas. So I've been looking into that as well. So he had to wait for somebody to come back from vacation. So once he finds out about going in on a cow, we're gonna do that. And then I found out that because I'm doing the carnivore diet, right, where I'm eating all
Uh,
beef and I'm eating all animal products, I found out that there's a couple people that I can get deer meat from, and I'm like, yes, please, because deer meat is yummy. So I'm gonna stock up on that, and we're just going to, even if we're not, if we're not gonna eat it this week, we're gonna buy it and freeze it. So
you can roam my neighborhood and get a deer.
yeah, there's deer all over the place here too.
Yeah, we've got a nasty. Well, I shouldn't say nasty problem, but it's starting to get to be a problem.
Isn't there
Um,
a hunting season for y'all?
there is a hunting season, but in the suburbs, it's kind of hard to go around hunting deer. In the hey, Bill, how you doing? Bam! Oh, yeah. There's a little safety concern with people around you.
Hey,
Other
Bill.
homes, the bullet flying, you miss the deer, it goes and it's just a stray bullet hits somebody.
Well, I
Those are
mean,
kind of concerns.
what about a crossbow?
Yeah, same kind of concerns. Hey, I'm just mowing the yard.
Till in the garden.
Hey, the mail's here.
Can you sign up for this, Pat?
Ooh.
Message for you, sir. Oh, it's wrong on so many levels.
Oh, it's so wrong. But yeah, and the deer here are now starting to have no fear of man,
Oh,
which is getting to be there because they were. I pulled in yesterday, had to get medicine for the dog,
is he
and I
okay?
pulled in. Yeah, well, he's look, he is an indoor dog mostly. I give him before I say this what he has. I give him all his medication. He is well taken care of.
Okay.
You know this. Everybody knows this.
Yeah,
Everybody that
yeah, he's a
watches
good
him on
boy.
social media knows this. But he's got hookworms.
Interesting. How did that happen?
Well, I said, look, how in the world did he get hookworms? And the vet just went, well, okay, bacteria doesn't stop even the medication if he's introduced to foreign, other animals or he licks his feet and the vet went, does he go to one area all the time? I said, yeah, he goes out front to do his business. She goes, okay, well, with all the rain we've had, the bacteria is just like a swamp. It's just there.
Interesting.
And I went, okay. She goes, I said, well, and I said, he takes the medicine, he takes this. She goes, do you have other animals that come through? And I said, deer. She goes, that'll do it. Because he's walking on whatever they have left behind.
Right. And then licking
inadvertently,
his paws.
and then licking his paws or, what have you. And guess what?
That's good to know.
Deer are not, they don't get veterinary vaccines and all that other shit while they're roaming the forest.
They don't.
Or roaming your neighborhood.
And if they're neighborhood deer, they're eating other stuff.
Oh, it gets even better. We have somebody at the top of our entrance who has a feeder out for them.
What the actual... What?
Like a deer, like a corn spreader.
Why?
And there are 40 to 50 of them at this bucket at one time eating, and I went, what the hell? I said, that's a big problem. And look, I have nothing against nature, okay? However,
no, it tastes
there's
good
a point.
Grilled with
it tastes good. And I want to do conservation. I'm very big. I feel that there is a balance of nature.
Yeah.
But when you start bringing a herd of deer, not 2 or 3, 40 to 50 into a neighborhood, yeah, it's a big problem. Because they're starting to not have fear of man. Once before, they would see somebody coming, boom, they would dart off and run.
Right.
I mean, and they would take off like a jet and be gone. Now it's like, oh, they have snacks probably, like the nice lady up at the hill.
Hi, you got nuggets?
You got chicky nuggies?
I ate chicky nuggies. I like. Yeah, hi.
Oh, what's there they are in your window going, no, turn it back. We want to watch The Mandalorian.
You gonna eat that?
Yeah.
Now, we have deer around where we are, but we have a fenced-in yard. So the only thing
right, you got a fenced-in yard.
Yeah, the only thing that's really getting in our backyard is birds, squirrels, and chipmunks.
And we have neighbors with fenced-in yards, and they are leaping the fence to go in the yards. Yeah.
Jeez, they won't do that here. Not with these guys, especially with that damn bark.
No, not with your menagerie of hounds. They'll be like, no, that's
this menagerie of hounds, I need to put them to work because this morning I got up to go. We've got a big pile of mulch that we're using to fill in holes that they've dug and secure the fence a little bit more. There's some stuff so I'm like, okay, I need to fill the back fence with this. He's at my door.
Look, hook them up like a sled team and put the wheelbarrow behind them.
So I've got a gorilla dump cart, right? And I fill it. I spend the morning filling it, and I pull the four-wheeler out. We get a four-wheeler to help me do this. I pull the four-wheeler out, and the battery's dead, and I can't get it to start. And so I was just thinking, I was like, I've got harnesses for them. I should probably hook the 2 bigger huskies and the German Shepherd up with their harnesses to this cart and mush. Mush!
There you go.
Mush, wolf, mush! I don't know.
There you go.
They wouldn't do it, though. I couldn't. They'd be like, what are we doing?
No.
Start fighting with each other. Get off me!
What are we doing?
I'm going to chew on the harness now. What the hell? Mom! What's really funny is when they howl at each other, and then the shepherd does his kind of weird whine. We get the roar.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the
Huh?
So funny.
Oh.
So it's been a crazy couple months. There's a lot more going on in our lives, but some of it's just not fit for human consumption.
Right.
So deal with it.
We're giving you the bullet points.
Yeah, we're giving you the bullet points. Maybe the next podcast will actually talk about like what's going on in the world, other than imploding submarines that shouldn't have been where they were at the depths that they were doing the thing.
Remember, kids, tin foil and paper tubes don't make a good submarine. The more you know.
Do, 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 do.
Or excuse me, let's really even do it. G.I. Joe.
Yeah. God, that's so sad. Those poor people.
I know. We're making jokes about it. It's all right. Enough jokes about that. I think that's a podcast, Rachel. What do you think?
I do think
I think that's a podcast.
I do. Say goodnight, Chris.
Buenos noches.
Le luchador.
Le luchador.
If you were a luchador, what would your name be?
I don't know. El Grande Blanco Diablo. I don't know. Big White Devil. I don't know.
Okay. We'll think about that for next time.
There you go.
See you next time.
See you next time, and goodbye.
This has been another random podcast brought to you by the Department of Understanding Humans, also known as DUH. Check out the links in the description for ways to find our weird, and remember, when in doubt, duh.